Hey, it is Kari Fulmek here with the Equine Connection, and I'm really excited to tell you a story. It's actually a near-death experience that happened to me just a few weeks ago, actually. But it was so surreal, so scary, so magical all at the same time. And it just goes to show when you are very even cognizant about working with horses, knowing they are prey animal, knowing safety is the number one thing that they require, but we must always stay in that mode of we've got to be safe because a horse is a horse still. So I am always very aware of that, but this day was just a little bit different. So I went out to the arena and I am doing my morning feeding just like normal. So I get out there and I didn't bring my phone because everyone always says, bring your phone with you. But I still always think, well, what am I going to do? If I get knocked in the head, I won't even think of a phone. So, anywho, I go out there, I'm getting the horses all ready, and we only have five now at the time. So I've got all their troughs ready. I do it in order. I always do it with the head of the herd first. So I'm always following the hierarchy. So it's a smoother system in feeding them their minerals and the things that they require. So I go and I give all the food to the five horses. All is cool. But then, and I even heard it too, there was a little movement behind the tack room door. Like there was a sound. So I always have the door closed too, because at the head of the herd, he's always very, very nervous when that door is open. So I just close it so I can give him some peace of mind. But I heard a little something. I don't know even what it was. It's just a little itsy bitsy noise. Well, then of course, what happened is everybody went high, and all of a sudden, everybody was running. Now, I always leave the back door to the arena open because, yeah, go ahead, leave if you feel like you're uncomfortable in here, no big deal. So, as they were all running in flight, I decide, because I'm smart, I'm going to pick up all of the troughs because if they come back to the food now, they're all going to be out of order because the head of the herd, he's going to go anywhere he wants to. Then all the horses are out of place with what they're supposed to be getting. So I go under the rail. So I'm just bending down to go under the rail to get my first trough. All of a sudden, and it's just so fast how this happens, but yet so slow. All of a sudden, I heard these horses are coming back around. So they went in flight, back door is open. I go down to get the trough, and all of a sudden, I hear in my ears, they're coming back, and it's at a flight speed. So as I'm hearing this, seriously, out of the blue, I feel a knock from someone's back end, like not their hooves, just their back end. Felt it come right into me. And when the butt came right into me, like the power, as you all know, would be like, because all our horses are at least over 1,000 pounds, 500 kg, I felt me fly. So the bum hits me and I fly, and now I'm flat on the ground. Like I am flat. I am an upside down sand angel, like completely frozen. So as I'm laying there on the ground, I'm like, holy frick, my spine and my head. That's all I kept thinking. My spine and my head, my spine and my head. Because why? I hear there is still chaos. Now, I cannot get up. I don't know what happens to the body, but the body could not get up. So I am still there, face down in the sand, and I am hearing oh my gosh, I'm going to get trampled. I hear them coming. I'm going to get trampled. Now, I do know this as a horse person. My head even said this too. Horses never want to step on you on purpose. That is never their goal in life, nor do they want to. They don't even want to step on a glove in the arena. Like they don't like to step on things. So I know this, but flat on the ground, my spine exposed, my head exposed. My thought is, oh my gosh, I'm going to get trampled. And then all of a sudden, I was trampled. And I don't even know exactly what happened. All I know is two hooves hit both of my legs. And as soon as it was over, I was able to move. So I got myself up and I went behind the rail and I kept saying, holy F, holy F, holy F. That's all the words that kept coming out of my mouth. And I was leaning on the rail and I couldn't believe what just happened. Like I was still in shock that obviously I just got trampled, but I was able to get up. So as I'm there at this rail and I just close my eyes because I'm like, this is the most incredible thing that seriously has ever happened because that could have been so much more serious. So my daughter, my other daughter lives up in the arena. Now, I thought she would have heard my voice. So you see, the cell phone did not come in handy anyway. But I thought she would have heard my voice when I was saying, holy F, holy F. But she just looked out the window. But unfortunately, when you look out into the arena, because where the rails are, you actually can't see anybody in there. So it's just so weird. Like I was so close to the rails when all of this happened. Even horses running back in a frenzy to a block. You know, a rail is a block. It's just so weird that they came around, trampled, and then kind of left. So again, I'm still here at the rail thinking, what just happened? Like I have to remember how this played out so I could write it down. So then as my brain is just computing everything that has happened, I was like, besides it was so surreal. I checked with myself, like my heart rate, like I wasn't elevated, like I wasn't panicked, I wasn't sweating, I wasn't hurt. Well, I didn't feel like I was hurt, but I was in such a place of, it's weird, but peace. There was something so powerful that happened that, and maybe it was even a thought when I was doing my sand angel upside down or face first, I guess you should say, is, I've always said, because for those of you who do follow me, I always speak of death. And I do believe you have no idea what day you're going to die. Yet I know we're all going to die. Every single human on earth is going to die. Everything dies. So I know this. So that's why I always try to live my life knowing that I could die today. So live it today because it could be your last day on earth. You have no idea when your last moment on earth is going to be. So whatever my thought piece was, I thought, wow, if this is the way I'm going to go, I always said it would be pretty cool to go out loving what it is that you do. I was not even, I wasn't mad because there's nothing to be mad about. It wasn't our prey flight animal who did this to me. Like something happened, and I, as the human, for some reason, did not put myself in a safe place like I thought I was doing. Nope. Because you consistently are with your horses that you sometimes just think their system, they're just going to run out the door. But it always goes to show how important it is to understand safety must be vigilant every single time you work with a horse. Horses are not pets. And I think that's the biggest thing that hit me after too. I mean, it really was surreal. It really was peaceful. There wasn't no anger. There was no panic. I wasn't mad at anything. I thought, how gracious and glorious that this is that I'm still here to speak of it. But in understanding, more people have to understand the horse is not a pet. A horse is a prey animal. That horse's brain will never think like our human brains because it's incapable of thinking the same way. When they are scared, they need to run for their life because their brain says something can eat them. So it's never their fault when it comes to this. Like this is where it got me thinking too, thinking of so many people in this life that accidents happen. And it's truly so horrible when accidents happen, especially if a death or something horrendous comes from it. But it seriously still is an accident. And it's so sad when we as humans, unless it happens to us ourselves, that forgiveness is sometimes very hard to do and to give because we're so mad about the accident that did happen. I remember one time I was watching my granddaughter, and long story short, she started to choke on a candy that one of my daughters had in her dresser. And oh my gosh, the panic was outrageous. And my beautiful little 8-year-old daughter is calling the ambulance while I'm trying to save the life of my grandbaby. And she did survive, but I tell you, that was still to this day, I still bawl over it because that second could have changed everything for me, but even for how my son-in-law and daughter-in-law would have taken that I lost their child, but it was an accident. Like it was truly an accident. And after having this experience with the horses and knowing that forgiveness must always be able to come because it is just an accident and not from the horses, because a horse is a horse. He don't want to do no harm. No harm. He ever think in his head that he wants to do to you? It's just because they are prey, they are designed this way, and it is to get out of dodge. So it cannot be their fault. It can be our fault because we think that we get lackadaisical in our safety. That my horse will never do this because I love him so much and he loves me so much. No, a horse does not work like that. No matter how much we love our horses, and we do, they're still not a pet. They're still not one that we can say is never going to have this reaction because we know through the horse, through their brain, through research, through evidence, this brain is never going to think this way. So I just wanted to share this story with you because I'm still so grateful that the experience did happen. I am grateful that I am still here breathing on earth. Today could be my day. That's just funny, right? But it really is precious when you know how thin of a thread we have in this very precious little life that we have. Like we get to breathe for such a little time. And all of us who are on this earth, we know how fast time is flying by. Don't wait for your life to begin. Don't wait for your life to forgive someone in your heart that you just know needs to be forgiven because an accident is an accident. Love your horses, but no, they're not a pet. And always, always be vigilant in safety. They are vigilant in their surroundings all the time, way more than we are. They hear, they see, they smell, they feel way differently beyond hundreds of feet longer than we do. So knowing this, accept them for who they are and be that smart horse owner. Always be vigilant. But yeah, it was a pretty cool ride, let me tell you. I'm just happy, seriously, that I was okay. I didn't even have a broken bone. But I tell you, that spine and the head, whoo, two big concerns. Because even as you're down on the ground, thinking this is your last moment on earth, it's like, oh my goodness, it would be so hard if I couldn't walk again, right? Or if I couldn't remember nothing again. So it is pretty cool how the world works. I think it's all when it's your time, it's your time. I did thank God very much so for still being here because I do want to still live a good full life if I can, but I still know if God wants to take me, He's going to take me. But anyway, I just wanted to share that story with you, and I hope it helps you in some way in your life and your experience. And just always blessings your way and have an amazing one. Remember, life's too short Last breath on earth. Do what it is that you love.